Hi everyone, welcome to Witty Kitchen. Today let's make a vegan version of a very popular classic dim sum, Mai Gai. It is steamed sticky rice wrapped in lotus leaves, traditionally with chicken, pork, shrimps, mushrooms, etc. It is one of the must-haves when going yum cha. Please stay with me and keep on watching. I'll show you how to make it all plant-based in an easier way step by step, which still tastes exactly the same as the traditional Mai Gai. So let's get started. These are dried lotus leaves. I bought it from my local Chinese grocery store for only a few dollars. Actually, you can cook Mai Gai without lotus leaves, but if you can find them, definitely use them because they give a refreshing, earthy, fragrant flavor to the rice as it steams. And they also have been used as a herb in traditional Chinese medicine to relieve summer heat. This is the plant that brings you the inner peace. Find a big container to soak 2 of them in cold water for about 1 hour to rehydrate. Put something heavy on the top to make sure they all dipped in water. Then we soak 6 shiitake mushrooms in 2 cups of warm water for 1 hour or until they are rehydrated. I use warm water here because it can speed up this process. Sticky rice, also called glutinous rice or sweet rice. You'll need 2 cups of long grain sticky rice for this recipe. Doesn't matter what brand it is. Wash it 2 to 3 times until the water is clear. This step is for removing the excess starch, which will make your rice lumpy when it cooks. The traditional way of cooking sticky rice is steaming, which means that we have to soak it before steaming for at least 2 hours or even longer to get it tender. But today I'll show you a quicker and easier way to cook it just as good. When the water is clear, drain it and put it into the rice cooker, add in 1.5 cups of water. The best ratio I found out is 1 cup of sticky rice with 3/4 cups of water, because you want your sticky rice still be a bit chewy and firm after pre-cooked. This is exactly the same texture that you'll get if you steam it. It took me about half an hour to cook with my rice cooker. While we are waiting for the rice, let's prepare the other ingredients. 100 grams of vegan Chinese barbecue pork, which is also known as char siu. I bought it also from my local Chinese grocery store. If you don't have it, just use any of your favorite vegan ham or vegan chicken. Briefly slice it into smaller pieces. Then 2 vegan sausages, any flavor, any type you like. Briefly slice them in the same way. When the mushrooms are rehydrated, take them out and squeeze the water out so that they can absorb the tasty sauce later when we pre-cook them. Remove the tough root if you want, then slice them into smaller pieces too. Don't throw out the water for soaking shiitake mushroom yet. Pour it through a fine sieve to get rid of the dirt. Then we got a simple shiitake mushroom broth for later. Then we'll prepare a starch water. 1/2 tablespoon of potato starch or corn starch, 2 tablespoons of the mushroom broth, mixed well. Then it comes to the sauce. 2.5 teaspoons of dark soy sauce, 3 tablespoons of light soy sauce, 3 tablespoons of vegetarian oyster sauce, 1 teaspoon of rice cooking wine, then mixed well. Now let's pre-cook the filling. 2.5 tablespoons of oil. I like to use rice bran oil because it has a relatively high smoke point and neutral flavor, perfect for Chinese cooking. Add in the sliced vegan sausage, fry them on high heat until they turn golden brown on both sides. Then add in the shiitake mushroom and the vegan chassis. Cook for about 1 to 2 minutes. Then add in the mixed sauce. Keep on cooking on high heat for another 2 minutes. Then add in 1 cup of shiitake mushroom broth and 3/4 cups of cooked chickpeas. You can also use chestnuts if you have it, but I like chickpeas, so why not? Simmer for about 3 minutes. Then we add in the starch water to thicken the sauce up a little bit. At the end, we add in ½ teaspoon of salt and 1 tablespoon of sesame oil. Then turn the gas off. It should be a bit saltier than the dishes you usually have because this is the amount of salt for the whole recipe. The sticky rice should be ready by now. Take it out and put it into the filling we prepared. Then mix it up gently with a spatula. There are actually different ways of marinating the pre-cooked sticky rice, depends on how you want your Mai Gai, but I'm doing this way because I like to achieve the goal with least effort and least time. By mixing them up all together, the tasty sauce has been absorbed by every single rice grain, and it also will make it much easier for us to wrap them up in the lotus leaves. Take the lotus leaf out of the water. Now they are soft and pliable. Remove the tough root, then cut it in half so we can wrap 4 big Mai Gai. It's okay if some part of the leaf is a bit broken because it's big enough to wrap up for multi-layers. Then you get 1/4 of the mixed sticky rice filling in a bowl. Gently press it down to make sure they stick together. Here you don't really have to use a bowl. You can directly scoop up the sticky rice filling and put onto the leaf, then wrap it up. But this step can make your wrapping process much easier. When you wrap it up, it definitely won't fall apart or drop out. If you don't use lotus leaves, now you can just actually leave the sticky rice mixture in the bowls, put them all directly in a steamer and steam for half an hour, then enjoy it. But if you have lotus leaves, here comes the most fun part of cooking this recipe. Flip the bowl over the top of the lotus leaf. Give the bowl a gentle shake so that the food can fall onto the leaf. Then wrap it up just like what you usually have to do during holiday seasons every year. It doesn't need to be super tight because the sticky rice naturally holds everything together. As long as you wrapped everything inside, it won't fall apart. Transfer them all into a steamer, steam them on boiling water for at least half an hour. I use the water for soaking lotus leaves, that's why it's yellow if you wonder. Because we are having a water shortage in Auckland at the moment, I've been more saving when using water recently. But you don't have to, just make sure there's enough water for steaming for half an hour. You can actually cook a big batch to save some for later. They last up to 3 months in the freezer. When you want to have it, just steam it for 20 to 30 minutes directly from frozen. It'll taste just as good. When I'm opening the leaf, I can smell the super tasty sticky rice and all the yummy goodies combined with the refreshing tea or earthy scent from the lotus leaf. It tastes just the same as the one we have in Yangcha restaurant. All what I usually do is wrap it up in lettuce to give it an extra crunchiness and freshness. Put it in the lunchbox, keep it in the fridge, and take it to work next day for lunch. This is how to show off your cooking skills. Heat it up in the microwave for only 2 to 3 minutes, then it'll be ready to enjoy. If you liked today's recipe, please give a thumb up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell, then you won't miss out any of my new yummy recipes. Thanks for watching. See you next time.